Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Evan. It's your first time here, you are welcome. I hope you subscribe and stay and just enjoy the ride. In today's video, I'm going to be going in depth regarding the comprehensive ranking tool, the CRS tool that you can use to get an idea of what your score will be in the pool, so you'll be able to know your chances without actually creating the profile yet. So if it's something you're interested in, be interested, keep watching. I'm going to actually go in depth with some scenarios and tweak some things just so you guys have an idea how it'll work. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's go. The CRS tool calculator is known as the comprehensive ranking system tool, which acts as a general guidance or like as a guide, so you know what your chances are and you have an idea what your scores will be when you get to the pool. One thing you should know about this tool is that there might be some discrepancies like with the scores. So say the tool tells you, oh, you get 456, and then you put in all your information in the pool and you're getting 450. So just know, of course, whatever score you get in the pool takes precedence over whatever estimate this tool gives you. So just bear that in mind. But for the most part, it should be closely accurate if you put in accurate information there. So just like the entire process, the CRS tool is part of the whole point-based system that basically ranks you and gives you scores based on certain factors like your age, your education, work experience, language ability, if you have family here, if you're married, that's if you have a spouse, and just some other factors. So we're going to review this tool. Let me pull that up on my system because I have my laptop here. I'm gonna be sharing my screen so you guys will be able to see. See, I'm acting like I'm in an actual meeting. Okay, just as I mentioned, this is the comprehensive ranking system, the CRS tool for skilled immigrants to be able to have an idea what their score is going to be like. The first question is, what is your marital status? So for example, if you're single, just put never married, single. How old are you? I'm going to put, let's just put the let's put 25 years old. And bear in mind that once you're 30 years and above, the score begins to drop. So you're not going to get the maximum points for scores if your age is over 30 years old. Okay, so what is your level of education? Either if you earned a Canadian degree or if it's not in Canada, so that's the one where you have to do the WEST, the educational credential assessment for. So you have some options here. None. So if you're just secondary school, which I don't know about that. So let's go. If you have just a one-year program, you select that. If you have a two-year program, bachelor's degree, 2 or more certificates, I'm gonna choose bachelor's degree for this instance. Have you earned a Canadian degree? So if you have, say yes. I'm gonna act like I'm still outside Canada and I'll choose no. For the languages, your results have to be less than 2 years old. So any of the language tests that you take, either CELPIP or IELTS, must be less than 2 years old. So are they less than 2 years old? Yes. The language that you want to take, there's CELPIP, that's the one I talked about. There's IELTS, and of course, if you're proficient in French as well, you can take, you can select any of these options. But for now, I'm just gonna select CELPIP, and then here's where you enter your test scores. So even if you're not taking the test, you can put like a range, just so you know. So with this person, we're going high, so we're going between 10 to 12 for everything. Do you have other language test results? So let's say you took CELPIP test and you also took the French one. You can here now you can select the French test as well. I think that adds about 60 points, but I'm not sure. So we'll select not applicable. Was it 50 or 15? Maybe 50 actually. Work experience. So in this one, be careful. This is for if you have skilled work experience in Canada. So this person is not in Canada, for example. So I'm gonna select none for this, and then this is the one that would then apply to you. The last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience you have? So this is work experience that you have outside of Canada, either paid full-time, or even if it's part-time, the number of hours must be equal to a full-time number of hours basically. So in here I'll select 3 years or more. So say the person has been working since 21. Do you have certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? So if your job is probably regulated, where you have to have experience, training, certificates, blah blah blah, you select yes. But if not, just leave it as no. So we'll just leave that as no. Do you have a valid job offer supported by a labor market impact assessment? So if you have a job offer from any employer in Canada, you select yes for this one, but in this case you select no. Do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? Would say no. Do you or your spouse have at least one brother or sister living who is a citizen or PR? So if you have family here, so let's say yes, let's say we do. So here at the end, we're just going to calculate the score. If we scroll down, you see your results. So because the person is still 25, the person has the maximum age score, level of education 120, official languages 136. I think this is almost like the max as well. You have some spouse factors here. Skill transferable factors, which is education, foreign work experience, additional points regarding sibling in Canada. That's where you get the 15 points. So you see the total score here is 456. So now let's change something. So let's say this person, aside from having a bachelor's degree, also is in Canada. So have you earned a Canadian degree? Let's choose yes, right? And choose this. We're just gonna say, let's say the person just did a 1-year diploma or certificate program, right? And at the top here, level of education, since the person has a bachelor's degree from, let's say, Nigeria, and also came here to do a 1-year program, so instead of selecting bachelor's degree, you'd select 2 or more certificates, and one must be for 3 or more years. So the bachelor's degree, of course, is going to be more than 3 or more years, while the 1-year program makes it 2 certificates, if that makes sense. So I'll select this, and if I go back down here to calculate my score, and we scroll down, can you see we have 504? So that makes you get qualified. So it kind of gives you a range to see what your scores will be if you make this change. If you do this thing, you can now decide, oh, okay, let's say the person is 450 and like, oh, I really want to come to Canada. Okay, can I do a 1-year program, which is like 8 months, right? By the time I do that, I'll get, higher score where I can now qualify. Now, if we look at the express entry rounds of invitation, I'll add this links in the description box, so you guys should check that out. There are different types of invitations. There's the general rounds, there's this program specific rounds, and there's category based rounds. So the general rounds, there's no program specified, right? Anybody in any, as long as you have that score upwards, you get invited. Program specific rounds can be like, oh, this month we're only doing Canadian experience class, so if you're not eligible for that program, you're not going to get invited. And then category based rounds is based on certain categories, which I think is job invitations, job occupations, right? So where I'm going to is, if you look down here under results for the rounds of invitation, so the last one took place August 15th, and you see that the lowest ranking score that they invited was 496. So they invited people from 496 upward. So this person would definitely get an invitation if this is the score in the pool. So that's how it works. Let's change some other things. So let's go to the English score. Say in speaking the person got a 9, and let's say in reading the person got an 8. Let's refresh and see what would get. You see how that drastically just reduced the score to 440. So that's why it's very important to do well in both, in your English test, because like I said, it can really jump your score. So if we change this, let's change something. Back to reading, let's leave that. Okay, let's change this to 9, and then listening, let's change it to 9. So 999, 10 to 12. Let's refresh and see what this person will get. 495 also. So just so you know, reading is very important. Don't get a low score in that. But yeah, you can basically tweak this and see, just so you know the baseline of the score you should be aiming for to get. Something else we can change, let's change the age. So 25 years, so let's select 31. Say I am 31, and then I calculate my score. 484. So my age kind of reduced to 99 from 130. So yeah, that's the age factor that I'm talking about as well. If you do have a spouse, yeah, we can change this to married. So is your spouse a citizen? No. Will your spouse come with you to Canada? Yes, of course. Okay, so down here would be the level of education for your spouse. So basically the top information would be for yourself, and then bottom would be for the spouse, just for as an example. So highest level of education for a spouse. See, my spouse has a master's degree. Let's do that. In the last 10 years, how many years of experience in Canada? We'll do none. Did your spouse take a language test? Yes. Took CELPIP. And then in here, let's select 10 to 12, 10 to 12, say did so well, and then we'll calculate our scores. If we go down, we have 488. Down here you see the spouse factors as well. So you got 30 points. So if I change the age to say 29, where's this age? I hope you guys are enjoying. I'm just doing different scenarios just so you guys can see how it actually impacts your scores. 29, 498. So that makes you more qualified. But don't get me wrong, like even people that are over 30 actually get invitations to apply. One thing you can really jump is your English test scores. So say, let me change my own test scores to 10 to 12, 10 to 12. So say my spouse and I both get very high scores, and I refresh, calculate your score. I say 507. Let me change the age to 31 and see what difference that makes. $497, almost the same as the last time. But yeah, I hope this made sense to you guys. I don't know, hope I've not confused anybody, but I just wanted to show you how the CRS tool basically works based on different factors. So you can use this as a guide to let you know, okay, I'm gonna aim at getting a high score, 10 to 12. And like I said, these scores are like estimates, right? So say, you know, because in the English test scores you put 10 to 12, and for example, if you actually get, let's say 11, 11, 10, 12, of course your scores are going to be higher, because when you're filling out the pool, filling out your profile to get into the pool, you have to put your exact score. So you're not going to put 10 to 12, you put either if it's a 10, 11 or 12, and that will actually, you know, add more scores. So see, you put in 10 to 12, you might actually get 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, or 11, 11, 11, or something like that, right? So this is an estimate to give you a guide, so you are able to aim high and make better informed decisions as well. If you get a provincial nominee certificate, you can add that as yes. You'd see how the score will actually increase, because it will add 600 points to you. So if you do have any questions, let me know. I hope this video was helpful. Probably short but simple. We'll see. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave me comments down below and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.